Hello and welcome back to STL Toyota Off-Road. I am Eric
I'm Kyle.
and today we have Samuel Clemens Mafia on. Oh, wait a minute. Mark Twain Mafia. So let's hear it from you guys. Tell us your names and who you are and what you're from and all of that.
All right, my name's Rich Crum. I live in Ozark, Missouri. Started the Mark Twain Mafia less than a year ago with my co-founder.
Corey Westfall. I live in Branson. Me and Rich, we work together, and we just, both started this off-road market, and we just kind of took off from there. We really wanted to extend it out, and man, it blew up. It did really well. We did one of our first trail rides, and we met Dan.
I'm Dan Robinson. I drive a Toyota 4Runner 2019 off-road, and I met these guys and wheeled with them, and just had a kick-ass time. And so
Nice.
we've been doing a lot of trail rides and having a good time.
It looks like it. Your page really shows it. You have a lot of active members, and I mean, just today, I mean, every day you guys have a lot of new posts and a lot of off-road, events and people just, I can say unsanctioned, but I mean, people just going on their own and having these really great times. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's been blasted. And Dan, man, he's really taken over the trail rides. He's our leader. He's really
Right.
out there. Me and Rich had some family life we had to take care of, kids and wives and all that, man. But Dan's really taken over. He's really been a blessing to our group, that's for sure.
So, just some numbers. The past about 6 months, we've done 18 trail rides. We've had as little as 2 vehicles, as many as 19 vehicles on a trail ride. And then I'd say we spent a good 6 hours out there, mostly on Glade Top, but we had other places too. And then it's just, it's good, fun, family time type of thing. People bring, husbands, wives, kids, dogs, everyone comes out and just, I think everyone has a good time. And I think a lot of people have 4-wheel drive vehicles and they want to get them dirty and take them off road. And I think that Glade Top offers that, and the price is right. It's free. So
You got that right.
getting a group together and going is just a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys live in a pretty, well, I mean, a lot of Missouri has a lot of different off-road adventures to take, but you live in probably the most prime area for the overlanding and off-road scene in Missouri.
Yeah, and that was one big thing when I've been off-roading for a long time. I did it in high school. I had some old Broncos and stuff, and some Jeeps, Samurais, just like a whole array of different off-road vehicles. But I got out of it for a few years, and I was doing just a cheap budget Bronco 2 build where I just stuffed some 31 1050s on it, and this guy's like, I'm gonna buy a Jeep. Well, he got a Jeep, a YJ, it was a budget build.
95 YJ, like $4,000.
Didn't have a bunch of money into it, and we started hitting trails, regularly, at least once a month, maybe twice a month,
right,
in these clapped out rigs, and our Facebook group, and we just basically, it started, me and Corey, we take pictures of each other going over the more technical sections, and the Mark Twain Mafia was just the platform where we'd post those pictures and we'd comment back and forth on each other, and before we knew it, people were asking to join, people with similar interests, and we're just like trying to spread the love, get out here, hit the trails. It's super enjoyable. You don't have to have like the newest, the nicest stuff. Of course, you want to have something reliable that can get you out there and get you back. But I mean, it's just like, if you want to do it, come with us. We started doing trail rides, and like the first 5 trail rides, nobody really showed up. It was just me and Corey hitting trails, but we'd post it, we'd invite people, and then we posted a trail ride, and Dan showed up and a few other people, and before we knew it, the Mark Twain Mafia, it kept growing, and he kind of took over the trail rides recently with another guy that I want to shout out to who couldn't be here tonight, Gus Scout. You can check him out real active with the Mafia. He's got a built XJ and a super cool dude. He's also one of the trail ride leaders, along with Dan. And it's just like, between the four of us, we've just kind of taken the ball and run with it.
Nice. You guys actually kind of similar background from what happened here, you know.
Yeah.
Last year, Eric and I started this group, and basically I was looking to get into off-road. I've never really done it. I grew up around it. My dad having Suburbans and playing in the mud, but, nothing really like what I'm doing. And, we started this whole group just so we can go out and wheel. And just like you said, we had events to where it was him and I, or maybe another person or two, to where we've had 15, 20 people show up, and we're like, whoa, what in the world are we going to do?
That's so
But,
cool.
yeah, it is. And what I'm always saying, what's the best part about this is not just getting out and wheeling, but you're making friends and building comradeship. You got a complete stranger that needs to rely on your trust to get over an obstacle. And at the end of the day, you got yourself a new friend,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about this whole community, off-roading, overlanding. That is my favorite part, is meeting the new people. Well, I mean, and talking to you. We started a podcast forum, and now we're talking to people that aren't on the trails with us. But I mean, you're in the region, but it's just the people we meet along the way is my favorite part of it.
Definitely. And what's kind of fun about Mark Twain Mafia is that we allow all street legal 4x4 vehicles, even some two-wheel drive vehicles, to join us. And we've just had a wide range of vehicles, everything from H3 Hummer, a Ford Excursion. We had a new Ford Ranger out there recently. And then we've had some Subarus and Jeep Compasses and Wranglers and Toyotas. And it's kind of neat just to see these different vehicles tackle this terrain that we go on. So we're not exclusive, other than it's got to be a street legal vehicle. Any vehicle can join us. If you got four-wheel drive and you want to go hit some trails, join us, and we'll go do a trail ride. And it's open to just about anyone that wants to join us. Which, I have a Nissan Frontier that I've had for the last 15 years. When I first moved here about 10 years ago, I looked around on Facebook for off-road groups. And there were Jeep groups, and there were ATV groups and Toyota groups. But there were no groups that just did all vehicles that wanted off-road. So what I like, the overland movement kind of opened up off-roading and camping and overlanding to everyone. And then our group is kind of like, it's all inclusive. Come hang out and hit the trails with us. So that's what I really enjoy about this group here.
Yeah, it shows. So when did the actual group start?
The group started, according to Facebook, it was 10 months ago.
Wow.
And yesterday or today, we just surpassed 1,000 members.
Okay.
Average, 100 members a month, 100 new members a month, which is completely amazing to me, because when, like I said, when we started, we really had no expectations whatsoever. We were just out there trying to spread the love of what we like to do to other people who maybe, didn't know how to get into it, or didn't know what their vehicle's capabilities were, or possibly just didn't have anybody that could potentially go with them to pull them out if something happened. We're there like, hey, you want to join us on a trail ride? And come on. And if, some of the trail rides will be specific to like high clearance 4-wheel drive vehicles where, you definitely want to have lockers, or, there's different trail rides for different levels. Some of them will be easier, where some of the people with less modified, we've
had some Dodge Rams out there with no ground clearance, but
size.
they kind of, I've been amazed by full-size rigs. I kind of thought these tight trails, you really need a Jeep or a Toyota, but we've gotten all size vehicles out there.
Full-size rigs?
They can go there. If you don't, there's certain little mods you need to make. So if you have an air dam underneath your bumper, take that off, it's going to get torn up. My 4Runner, I have rock sliders to protect the body. the full-size truck, one thing you're going to get pinstriping. The trails are tight, but I've seen these full-size trucks go there, and it kind of blew me away. I always thought you want a small vehicle, you want a skinny vehicle. It's kind of more. I don't know that I would take a brand new 2022 Tundra out there, because you're going to get your paint's going to get scratched up. There's trees and brush and everything else, but the Tundra will do it though.
Yeah.
Right. That's on how deep your pockets are and how brave you are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, I've been wanting to go to Glade Top and actually wheel with you guys for the past 10 months, but I drive beaters, so a 3.5 hour drive's kind of scary for me,
I understand that. Rich, we got 4-cylinder Jeeps. We stay off the highways. We two-road it everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, I got a 88 Toyota 4Runner and a 03 4Runner, but that's broke down right now. So I'm stuck with my 88, and it's on 32s. And I tell you what, driving on the highway is not fun. I'd rather take back roads.
Yeah. We even got a few Subarus in our group that go on some rides. They're
Nice.
Those guys they bang pretty hard. We're really surprised with the Subaru market, that few members we have. They do good.
There are some trails that we recommend them. They don't go on just because there's a lot of ledges and rocks and that sort of thing. They really scratch up the underside of the Subaru. We have a lot of folks will come out and camp Friday night and ride with us on Saturday. With Glade Top there, it's you can camp anywhere in that national forest. So you don't have to just camp at there's a Hercules Glade camping area. You can camp there, but then also on Glade Top, you can find fire rings everywhere to camp. So you don't really need to just camp in one camping area per se.
Lots of free camping, lots of good trails. We all use Gaia as our navigation, and all the trails are listed, and there's also signs at the trailheads that will say Forest Road 507 or whatever, it matches your Gaia. It's easy to navigate down there with Gaia. So you get down here and hit us up on the Mark Twain Mafia and we'll get a group out there for sure. If you guys come down, or anybody else with your group, it never hurts to throw a shout out on the Mafia. I guarantee somebody who knows where they're going will meet you guys out there.
I think you had somebody out of your group come down a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, it was Brandon Ortiz Costello. Yeah. He's got a 3rd gen 4Runner, or a 3rd gen Tacoma, 2nd gen Tacoma, and a 3rd gen 4Runner. He had the Tacoma out, rooftop tent, the works. That was actually his first time wheeling that truck.
I rode with those guys. I led the morning trip, then we did an afternoon trip. The afternoon trip got kind of rained out with thunder and lightning, and then we had a 4th gen 4Runner that had 2 flat tires on the same vehicle.
Wow.
And then on that trail, we got to where we had the flat tires, we changed the tires. That took a couple of hours just because of the weather and lightning and everything else. And then that trail ended into like a raging river because the rain is so much, And so after that, I was just like, all right, we're going home, Or the people, that group camped out, and they found a really neat camping area off one of the trails, which is pretty cool. So
that big group of classic Land Cruisers that was down there 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
We had one of those guys on last week. James Butsky. James Butsky.
Yeah.
Man, he does some cool shit.
Yeah.
He's got some cool
rigs.
Those
guys, they passed by us. We're all kind of airing down, and I think they came into Glade Top and then went on the trails. We didn't really see them after that, but they looked like some really cool rigs. Classic stuff.
Yeah, that was really neat dynamic to see those kind of vehicles out there in the wild. Per se.
Supposedly there's a pretty big following around here with those classic Toyotas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I live here in Ozark County, which is the town of Theodosia. So I'm out in cattle country, and I'm about 20 minutes away from Glade Top. So I have a lot of free time on my hands. If anyone wants to hit a trail, I'll usually go hit a trail with them, and I can really get you on some trails and kill about 6-7 hours of just and then we're trying to branch out and learn some of the other Mark Twain National Forest outside of Glade Top. That's our next step. Just because for those of us that have been on these trail rides, you kind of see the same stuff over and over. It gets a little old, you know. But I will go, you know, if you're coming out and want to see a cool trail, we'll go do them, you know. So definitely, you know, come on down.
Oh
We
yeah,
are,
definitely.
Yeah, we are about exactly 1 hour from the nearest national forest road that we can hit, and that's the Potosi district, right outside of Potosi. But I'm saying, just from watching the videos of Glade Top Trail and watching your post, our portion of the Mark Twain National Forest is nothing like your area. We're talking just Forest Service roads, you know, basically maintained roads. And just recently, which is a very big shame, the National Forest Service came through and closed down a bunch. I mean, some of the trails were getting tore up by side by sides and whatnot, and they closed it down.
I think litter is the biggest factor in all this. That and people going full send too much and tearing up, you know, obstacles and erosion. Like in our Potosi district, we go almost every trailhead. There is so much litter, it's unreal. Like you got beer cans, you got like shingles from a house and tires. Like, how do shingles get out there, bro?
Right.
And that's just. And I think that's mainly what's shutting it down. And there's no real, like, there's no signs out there. We don't, like, there's a trail and we just take it. We don't know where this goes. We're just following it. And all of a sudden we're doing river crossings and in someone's backyard. And that too really pisses people off.
Yeah, you'll have that.
You know, one of our kind of goals of our group is that we do trail maintenance. So we, you know, if we see trash, we pick it up. Like I put a ladder on my 4Runner so I could be cool like these guys and have that big backpack on there for the trash bag or the trash route type thing. You know, and these guys, Rich, you have the North Face backpack.
Yeah, he's got the North Face. I got an old hiking backpack.
Yeah,
it's not actually a trasheroo, but you know,
I saw
like
that.
I said, budget build. So you know, we do focus on you know, trail maintenance, and that's one reason why our group is exclusive to street legal vehicles. Okay. We focus on, you know, being respectful to the trail. We want to try to keep these trails open. We go out there, we pick up trash. You know, we tread lightly as much as we can, and we try to stay on legal trails. But you know, I mean, there's gray areas out there, so I completely understand.
Yeah. Like we had a trail ride, and the night before it was a crazy windstorm, so there were trees down across the main, you know, graded gravel roads, and we were out there cutting them up and pulling them off to the side, you know, using our winches and that sort of stuff. And so, but to us, that's kind of fun. You know,
sure.
Not every day you can use a chainsaw, and not every day you're going to pull a huge log out of a maintained roadway. So, you know, that's right. We definitely take an active, take action on that sort of stuff there. So
that's great.
That is great to hear. See, that's why I like off-road parks, especially whenever you get in close with the owners. We know like where we can play at, like if we want to do donuts or really tear something up, you know, we got spots for that and we got permission for that. So that's kind of why I wanted to be an off-road group, is we can do overlanding and camping trips as well as take full built, not street legal rigs out and let them stretch their legs. You know, we got a guy in our group, Mike Powers, who's got a solid axle swapped FJ Cruiser. He don't want to drive that on the streets, especially with 39s on it. You know, that's not really fun.
And we can understand that. We do have a couple guys that do trailer the rigs in. There's one guy, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he has a built Wrangler that he built himself. His son does motocross, and his son is like a name guy. And I'm drawing a blank on his name. But, you know, he trailers his rig out there, and then there's a couple guys that trailer the rig. And we, you know, that's all cool. You know, we just...
Right.
You know, we're just not... We're not a side-by-side group. We're not really an ATV group, but we do have some of those guys will ride with us. You know, if they're family and camping out and hanging out. And, you know, Gus has his whole family will come out with, you know, ATVs and dirt bikes, and hey, that's cool. You know, but you know, you ride with mostly street legal vehicles, you're going to be going slow. So that's why, those guys like to go faster normally. So that's
Right,
kind
you
of
got that.
our focus is that,
Scott Gallagher.
Scott Gallagher, he's
With
got
the white YJ.
white
He
YJ.
brings it in on a trailer.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to break it either.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he broke 2 axles, front and rear, last time he was out there. And,
Wow.
guys dragged him out, and he came back with like a spring over axle, bead locks, and like some super built stuff, which I love seeing. Anybody who posts on Mafia or any other groups that I follow, including STL Toyota Off-Road, I mean, if you're doing a build project, keep me updated because I get off on that stuff. I mean, like, I build my own stuff. I do all my own stuff in my garage right here at the house. If mine breaks or if I'm doing upgrades, like, it doesn't go to the shop. It stays here. I do all that stuff mainly because I don't want to spend the money to pay somebody to do it. I'd rather put the money into the parts and get better parts. Yeah. So that's what I do. That's what he does. We're both have a technical background. We're professional mechanics by trade, but boat mechanics, so it's a little bit different.
Oh yeah, I hear it.
We know how to turn a wrench, and we
know how things work.
Do all our own stuff, and when it breaks on the trail, we also know how to fix that. We were down at Rendezvous in the Ozarks a couple weekends ago, and we had a guy cantilever his front sway bar on his JK on this really gnarly trail we were on, and we were able to remove that on the trail and keep going. It took us about 35-45 minutes, but we were able to continue on. He didn't have hardly any steering from left to right without the removal of that sway bar, so it was pretty crippled on the trail. But we got that taken care of, moved on, and that's just like one of the things that I like to do is be able to like try to fix the stuff on the trail, or at least be able to tow it off, because we get pretty deep where if something catastrophic were to happen, it'd be really hard to get your rig off the trail because we're so far into the forest.
The Rendezvous in the Ozarks, I had to miss it this year, but I went last year, and the Ozarks in Arkansas have a really special place to offer. I love it down there. It is so beautiful. The trails are awesome. I mean, it's just basic.
The scenery is amazing down there, even more so than our area. I mean, and the river crossings. I mean, it was. Shoot, I can't even. We probably crossed this one creek 6 times when we were on this trail.
It was me and Rich's first time. Dan's been there about every year. And
3 years.
It was some memories made. I mean, we hit some trails, did some stuff, got lost.
Kind of sweating it a little bit. And, it was actually my dad that was with us that cantilevered his sway bar on like a huge embankment that he went up, and it was just we were sweating it because we were 6-7 hours into the trail, and
we kept going.
It kept going, and we kept hitting ledges that we had to stack rocks because we didn't have the clearance to go down, and we're just like, oh my gosh, but we made it through. And when I got done, I said, I'm never doing that trail again. And then the next day I was like, yeah, I'd do that trail again. That was
I think the Arkansas trails are more difficult than what we have on Glade Top Trail.
The terrain's totally different.
If you really don't need a spotter for Glade Top, there's really nothing that difficult there. If you've got like a brand new rig and you're worried about minor scratches, you might want to spot it, and we'll definitely spot for you. But most of the stuff, if you got a little ground clearance and a good set of tires and 4-wheel drive, there's really nothing that difficult up there, in my opinion. But for a lot of people, and myself included, that area, it is real off-roading. It's not just graded gravel roads. You're actually going up
Yeah.
and down ledges and that sort of stuff. And there's, you know, like I talked about, my goal with off-roading my 2019 4Runner is not to roll it. You know, that's my, and it'd be really hard to roll it, but I've kind of, my off-road knowledge has expanded where I kind of know its limitations and what to do if I start to feel like it's rolling. But it'd be really hard to roll a vehicle there unless you had no idea what you're doing, and then you might be able to roll a vehicle. You know, but if you have just a little bit of knowledge or just follow someone else's line, or in our trail rides, we'll show you what line to take.
Okay, yeah.
You know, most people will take that line. You know, so it'd be really hard to really do. But I have dented the 4Runner, you know, and I might have tore off a little bit of the bumper down you know, and then I have skid plates and I have bolts hanging down, and I might have pulled one of those bolts off and the skid plate might have tore off a little bit, you know, but it protected the vehicle. So
It did its
Yeah.
job, yeah.
that's right. And you can't buy that stuff on a on a Toyota. You know, those pinstripes are earned. You know, every one of those, maybe a couple thousand that I have are, you know, they're earned. So
Right.
Yeah.
If you guys ever seen my 4th gen, that thing is covered and I do not buff it out. I spray the mud off and I leave it. I've gotten dents, broken tail lights, ripped the bumper off. You name it. It's my trail rig. I full send that thing. Same with my 1st gen. I mean, I've crushed quarter panels. I've had this 2 months.
Yeah.
I've crushed quarter panels and I've really done some damage. But, you know, I'm the type of guy who sees a rock face and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get over it because I'm leading the pack. So, you know, I have to.
yeah,
It seems like you guys got the benefit of having trails that are longer than just, you know, a couple miles. You know, we go to a lot of off-road parks around here, and like a trail run, a casual trail is a breeze. Honestly, we blow by it in like 10, 15 minutes,
yeah,
you know, compared to hours. So we'll see a whole park in almost a day if we're in a small group with, you know, experienced drivers and we don't get hung up on anything.
hmm
But there's still times to where, like our last event, we had a full-size Ford F-150, no lift, just big tires, and he got stuck on almost everything. He's too wide for these trails, too short, get stuck on rocks. And, you know, we spent 2 hours on a trail, which it's only a mile long.
yeah. Well, that's like, you know, we have Skip, and he's got the white Ford Excursion, and he calls it the White Rhino, and he started with a lift and just street tires and was blasting through mud pits and then pulling out his winch and winching. Now he's got some bigger tires on there. He'll still get stuck, but he'll just winch himself quicker than one of us could pull him out. And so, you know, he also has like the back side windows. He replaced them with boards after he kind of smashed those on trees. And but anyways, this rig is huge, and it, you know, it's like, you would think yourself, well, that has no business being out there. But no, you know. Now, with the full-size rig, you know, even on Glade Top, there are bypasses around some of the hard spots. You got the full-size rig, it won't fit on the bypass, so you got to take that hard line, which is usually like a taller rock ledge or something is where you maybe take a bypass. And, you know, me with my 4Runner and having the rear locker, you know, the hard stuff is the fun stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And you put that locker on, you're just kind of cheating, you know, but it's fun, you know.
Well, I mean,
It is.
So I want to talk about Glade Top for a second. So, I mean, I'm vaguely familiar with it, not completely, because I mean, well, I've never been to it. So, Glade Top as a whole, like, how big of an area is this? How many miles? And I'm going to preface this because our portion of Mark Twain National Forest, there's lots of gravel roads, but there's private property all over the place. So you can take a gravel road. There's still houses. I mean, is Glade Top more complete forest, or is it like up here?
It's more complete forest. It's a really big area generally, and Dan, he knows more about Glade Top than anybody in the group right here. From my experience being down there with Corey, we usually do like one trail a day, and it usually takes 4 to 5 hours, depending on how fast you go. We always, on the more technical sections, we do get out and film each other, which takes time. So generally, like in a day, you could probably do like 1 or 2 trails, but there's multiple trails out there, and you do not run into private property at all.
That's
You could.
You could.
awesome. Yeah.
You have to be way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so Lake Top is, they call it a scenic byway. So the gravel road goes from basically Highway 125 all the way up to Ava, and that's like a 23-mile graded gravel road across all the glades. And the glades are that glade rock where you can look out and see the, off in the distance, see the horizon type of thing. And so we kind of focus our rides on kind of the west side, and the north side, there just really isn't any trails up there, and so Ava is I think they have maybe 5,000 people live up in Ava, and then down where I live, Ozark County, we might have the whole county, we might have like 10,000 people, where the town of Ava might have 10,000 people. They got a Walmart, so
Okay.
the Glade Top Trail is like a graded road, but then there's all these trails that go off the north side of it and the south side, and it's all on the west portion of it. And those are kind of the fun trails that are rocky, and while we have a guy that does it 2-wheel drive, he breaks things, so.
And a lot of the trails are loops. That's what
Yeah.
we like. We
Yeah.
make loops. We don't really do a whole lot of backtracking. Like
Mm.
we'll do a loop, and then we'll maybe do another loop, but it's not a whole lot. Just drive a trail, hit a dead end, come back. That's what
Yeah, I
we like about it, But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of big forest area,
And there's some, there's like a little waterfall. It's not really like a big waterfall, but there's some spots to get out. And if you have kids, they can hop in the water,
Right.
or let the dogs out and go for a swim type of thing. And then we'll take breaks. And then on our trail rides, we use FRS, GMRS radios. So anyone that needs to take a bathroom break, just holler out, we'll stop type of thing. And then, we kill some time for maybe take a lunch break, or we'll take, at the end of some of these trails, there's a spot where you're on top of the glade. It's kind of a flat area. We'll take a group photo shot to, get all the
Right.
vehicle picture type of thing. So it's a pretty big area. And, you can kill, just by doing 2 main trails, you can kill about 6 hours. And then there's other smaller trails that you can go on that kind of, cross those 2 main trails. So it is a good time up there. And, it's kind of like, I have all this armor on my Forerunner, skid plates and rock sliders and all that. And I do use that, but then I watch other vehicles that don't have any of that, and they get through it just fine too.
Right.
So it's really about what line you take. There's easy lines, there's hard lines. Me having all that armor, I'll take a hard line. It's just more fun that way for me. But you can bypass a lot of it. It's just bypassing isn't very fun, in my opinion.
You got that right. I'm on the same boat. I like to test my skills, and I like to test my vehicle.
Yeah.
I got armor for my 4th gen, but currently I'm going to be doing an engine rebuild on it. So it's all sitting aside, and I literally just got this stuff and haven't put it on yet. So I've been kind of playing it safe with that, but at the same time, I've I've totally trashed the truck. Like literally, I've got broken or bent rear control arms. The trailing arms bent. I've ripped off the exhaust. I've done all kinds of different damage to it, to where if I had armor, would actually help save it. I've broken the 4-wheel drive actuator and all kinds of stuff. You look underneath this vehicle and it looks like I drove over boulders, because I actually have.
I wonder, maybe insurance could total out my Forerunner off pinstripes. I don't know. Look, if it ever gets T-boned, I'm just gonna say it. I went off into the woods or something.
Oh, I hear you.
But no, really, there's, we have a guy that has a Nissan Frontier, and he doesn't have lockers. He's got bigger tires. He doesn't have armor, but he really takes some awesome lines where, we were doing one really hard trail, and he made it no problems at all. Where other people were struggling, and I was at, I did this trail previously, and I about used my winch on it, just climbing up some really steep ledges, and then this guy did the same trail without lockers, without armor, and he just nailed it. So it comes down to some driver skill too, and then people will pick better lines than I will. And I also sometimes tell people behind me that, you might not want to follow me and take the same line I'm doing just because I have all this stuff I'm playing with. There's an easier way to do it, but it's pretty straightforward. You can kind of, you can see where to go. And, I tell people, there's one spot that goes down to this waterfall, and there's a wide section with different sort of terrain going downhill. I call that choose your own adventure. You can take the easy one, you can take the, it's kind of that muddy V, where the Forerunner, I like getting that thing sideways, getting kind of off camber and just, having tires up in the air and everything else, just because I've kind of learned how that vehicle drives, where, if you're new to your vehicle, you might not want to take that way because you're not used to leaning over to the right or left or that sort of thing. And so, we had a couple of year guys. Well, we also have a group that joins us called Mokan Toyota Jeep Club, and they have a Facebook page. And they had some folks down, and you could tell a couple of guys, they probably had their Tacoma for a long time, but they've never really done rugged off-roading with it because they're not used to how it tips and that sort of thing. So, it's kind of fun gaining that experience of what your vehicle can do, and you can really find that sort of stuff on Laptop there. So.
I hear you there. See, that's what I like about our group and what you guys do as well in riding in groups, especially with experienced people. We get new people who have never done anything, and we take them out and we turn a novice into someone who's comfortable with their vehicle. Yeah. You will get obstacles to where your trucks, where you got one wheel in the air and you feel like you're about to fall forward. But with a good guide and a little bit of confidence, we're able to get you through that obstacle. And now you're more comfortable with your vehicle and what you can do and what you're brave enough to do, Yeah. And a lot of people, that's what turns a lot of people away from off-roading. It's like, I see that my vehicle felt like I was about to tip. I was scared. But in all reality, you weren't, and you were good.
Well, let's face it. I have no idea what the actual statistics are, but I'm going to say probably 1% of people that buy a Jeep, a capable Jeep or a TRD off-road or TRD Pro, probably 1% of those people take them off-road and use them. So they have this very, very capable rig, and they don't know what it can do, but they wanted that rig, So when they come out, they may have a more capable vehicle than we have, but they're, so we want them. We don't want anybody to have any damage. I mean, you're the same way, but we want them to acquire a comfort level, off road. You have this very awesome vehicle, like a Rubicon is a very, very capable vehicle out of the box, and you see so many of them on the road with 20-inch wheels that'll never see the road, to see the off road. So it's nice to get new people into it and create a comfort level.
And that's we, like I said, I personally don't think there's anything that really that difficult, but it looks difficult. But there's just ways to take it that makes it pretty easy. I had a friend come down. He's got a matching. I think his was a 20 TRD off-road Forerunner, and we took a trail, and we took one of the south trails, and it's pretty easy. There's stuff where you need to slow down and go down some ledges and that sort of thing, or go around some of these ledges. We got down to the bottom, and it was muddy and kind of washed out down there. And I took my Forerunner up kind of a side embankment, but I had my locker on, and I had A-track, and kind of a side hill embankment went up it to get around these really big kind of mud gully type things. And my buddy followed me. He tries to do the same thing. He just gets stuck. He's not stuck, but he's stopped. And so I pushed my Forerunner out. And I walked up to him. He's like, "That's it. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck." And I'm like, "Well, are you in 4-wheel drive low?" He's like, "No, I'm in 4 high." "All right, put it in the 4-wheel drive low. This is how put it in neutral, put it in the 4-wheel drive low." "Okay, now turn on your locker." "All right, did that." And then he just went up the same hill I went, sideways up the hill, and had no problems at all.
People don't know. People want to know, but they don't know. Yeah. And it's groups like STL Toyota Off-Road, Mark Twain Mafia, and there's 100 other groups out there.
Sure.
that we're here willing to help people,
Yeah.
you know. And I always tell people, it's like, it's all about your tire placement. Like, you look at your descent or wherever you're going, and I always try to put my driver's side front tire right down the lane I want to go down, even if I gotta look my head out the window and like watch that tire. I mean, it's a Jeep, so you kind of see it sticking out a little bit. I line that up, and you know, and you go for it. You take it slow, and you know, if a tire comes off the ground or a couple tires, I mean, you just, it's amazing what today's vehicles can do, even in stock form. And you know, like my vehicle, I got a 97 TJ. I bought it for $4,600. I put TerraFlex springs on it, some good shocks. I mean, I probably have less than $6,000 in the whole build.
Right.
And, you know, I take it down the highway. It runs straight down the highway. I do all the trails that the people with the Rubicons or the TRDs or anybody else does. And I do it because I get my tires aimed in the right spot, try to take it slow where I need to, and it's like, you know, you don't have to have a ton of money
No, absolutely
to
not.
get into this sport.
No.
You really don't. And I just like,
We got guys out there with 2000 Suburbans and Tahoes. You know,
yeah.
and they put some good tires on it, maybe a little lift. They're out there hitting the trails with us. So.
And they're having just as
Yeah.
much fun as the guy with the $60,000, $70,000 Rubicon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You don't
Oh,
need
yeah.
So I mean,
a built rig to do it.
if you want to do it,
Yeah.
get something, get out there, find a good group, you know, find a good support system.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you guys are. That's what we are. Get out there and give it a try.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you don't have a ton of money invested into it.
That's
It's
kind of
still
what
a
all
good
started with
vehicle.
us. I got a 95 YJ with leaf springs. I mean, it's like riding a wagon down the trail. I mean, it's rough. But I mean, we're both running 31s with open discs. You know, we don't have lockers. We're not anything. But man, we run along with everybody else, have a good time, have zero money.
And we're doing the hardest stuff
All this
out
stuff
there.
out there. And that's kind of how we started our group, just kind of budget bills, man. Guys that don't have a whole lot of money to have it. We go out there and have a great time. We get stuck every now and then, and have some beers, make a lunch, and drive them home. You know,
Tow each other out.
Tow
when
each
we
other
need
out.
to.
Right.
Exactly. You know, some people come in thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get stuck," or I might be afraid to do this obstacle. It's like, so am I. You know, I might get stuck.
I love it, man. Everybody gets stuck. Everybody breaks
Yeah,
something
yeah.
at some point, and you know that's like,
like a roller
it's
coaster.
problem solving, and that's what your friends are for.
Yeah, man, thrill ride.
And then, you know, I've had some, we had some friends or friends I made through the group, and we've gone on trail rides. And I went on one trail ride. This guy had a really nice built Rubicon, and I was reading the trail ride, and I said, well, this section coming up is pretty rough. And the guy just looked at me like, well, if you can do it in that Toyota, I can do it in my Rubicon. I'm like, oh, that is good. You know. And so, you know, I know it's just some rocky ledges that you got to go down slow so you don't damage anything on the underside. You just kind of ride your brakes and your tires down these ledges, and you know they're really not that difficult. But when I first saw it, it's like, whoa, that looks, you know, let's get out and take a look at this, and you know, take our time and pick some lines and stuff. But now, having done it a number of times, you just take your time on the hard spots, and then you can go a little faster on some of the easy spots. So, but it definitely, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Mentioned, getting out and looking at the line too. You know, you come across a new obstacle. You know, it's a very good idea to get out and take a look at it. To either pick your line or move your rocks, or it's a super good idea.
And honestly, that's all part of the fun of it. It's like, I don't want to just sit in my truck all day. I want to get out. I want to climb these rocks. I want to look around, see the scenery, you know. The whole point of it is to explore places you don't really get to see on a regular basis.
Yeah. And people don't realize, like, you know, when we were down at Rendezvous and we hit this trail that we kind of got turned around on, you know, none of us had a huge amount of clearance. You know, the biggest tire was Dan's, and he's running a 33 on his 4Runner. And, you know, we got to this first section. It was a big downhill ledge, and it was either turn around, backtrack, or go down it. And I was like, we can do this. Let's just stack rocks.
We don't turn around.
And get down it and see where the trail goes. So I mean, we all got out. We spent 5 minutes stacking rocks, and we spotted each other going down the trail, and we continued on. But it's just like, it's problem solving, it's helping each other out, and we continued on that trail. It wasn't the last ledge we had to stack rocks
on that trail. We used winches twice. We got max tracks. We gave them a holler. They bailed us out. We stacked rocks. He's got a really nice electric chainsaw, Milwaukee. We used that to, trim the trails up. I mean, we used every recovery equipment we had on that trail. That's what made it epic. We don't know where we were at. We were half-ass lost. We used all of our, I mean, it was great. I had a good time. I mean, once you finally got the trail, like, oh, this is cool. But for a minute, we're like, oh shit, I hope we get out of here. But that's part of it,
You just hit on something that I mentioned in a previous podcast, but you said chainsaw, and I mentioned that a chainsaw. I'm a tree trimmer by trade. I always have a chainsaw. I use chainsaws all the time. But a chainsaw is going to be more useful to you in a trail than a freaking high lift jack.
It will be.
On this trail at Rendezvous, we could also use the high lift jack with that torsion bar cantilever that happened, but I will say the chainsaw came in quite handy. The action tracks, and then both these guys are running winches. I mean, we literally used everything on this trail to get through.
We didn't use the kinetic recovery ropes.
No, we didn't use that. But we had that.
Yeah, we had them.
We need to get some of those.
That electric chainsaw market now is unreal.
That's awesome.
It is. It really is.
They've came a long way, haven't they? Holy shit.
Yeah. So I bought it still 10 years ago, and I could never get the thing started. So when this electric thing came out, I had like a kind of a cheaper Doctor one, which is like real small, maybe a 10-inch, 12-inch blade or something like that. Yeah. And then I saw this Milwaukee has one, and my nephew he does heating and air, and he is a Milwaukee guy. He's got the heated jacket and the gloves and everything, all the tools. And he's like, get one of those chainsaws. And I got the 16-inch chainsaw. That thing just kicks ass. It's fast. And you don't have to deal with gas or trying to get things started.
Never lost charge. Yeah, we used it multiple times, and it cut through fresh every time.
So it's not cheap, but it's so much easier to use than dealing with gas. And then I got the 5th gen 4Runner. I really don't want gas inside the vehicle. So
if we could just take 1 minute, and I want to talk about Dan's 4Runner real quick, just because it's SDL Toyota Off-Road.
Let's do it.
When he and I started this group, we were Jeep guys, not necessarily Jeep guys, but definitely like solid front axle guys.
We couldn't afford the Toyota.
We did this trail ride where we met up with Dan, and he showed up with this 2019 TRD Off-Road, and I just want to go into like, I'm not going to call it like a budget build, but it's very tastefully done. So if you could go into like what you did exactly to your 4Runner to make it so capable, that'd be cool.
But real quick though, we got an event coming up with Mark Twain Mafia.
Yeah.
And we got Rigs and Coffee in Springfield, and it's at Artemis Overland Hardware. And it's Toys for Tots. So we're asking people that come out to bring a couple toys, a boy's toy, a girl's toy, Nerf guns, dolls, whatever you want to bring out. And then we are Mark Twain Mafia is hosting this, so we are doing the raffle.
Yep.
We have some U.S.-made action tracks that we're raffling off, and for that we're asking people buy a ticket. It's going to be a $5 ticket. Mm-hmm. You can buy as many tickets as you want, but all the money goes to Toys for Tots.
Yep.
So just what our time looks like here, but we want to get that out there.
Yeah, we want to get that in.
This Saturday, that's happening.
And also, we're also going to have some other giveaways at this event. Magnolia Jean Design Company, which does all our merch. We're gonna give away T-shirts, koozies. We're gonna have some like prize packs. Like he said, Action Tracks donated a set of their traction boards to give away, and we're also gonna have a bunch of Mark Twain Mafia stickers provided by my buddy Gabe at his company, Brand Jelly Stickers. If anybody wants like a super good quality sticker that can go through the pressure washer and still look the same as it did when you first got it, Brand Jelly. His name's Gabe Herndon, and he's a good dude. So
yeah, if we're getting short on time, we want to get that out there. And we're expecting a pretty good turnout. It looks like we're getting some good reactions on Facebook. And Artemis, the guy that owns that, he's got all the rooftop tents and off-road gear, and it's a pretty cool shop there in North Springfield. So come on out, bring some toys for the kids, and then bring a little cash with you and grab a raffle ticket. And all that cash is all going for Toys for Tots. So
we also got a couple of $silver City tickets we're giving away too. Gus got some $silver City tickets. So
awesome.
So it'd be a pretty good turnout. We're gonna have some coffee, have a few beers, good community. I mean, it'd be a good time.
I'm gonna link all this in the description too. I'm gonna put all this in the description. I'm gonna link the Toys for Tots. I'm gonna put everything in for the description for the actual podcast. I'm gonna put Toys for Tots in it so it comes up. So I'm gonna shout out this event as much as I possibly can and link it to it. And I'm gonna get it out before the weekend so people can hear it.
Cool.
That's so cool, man.
And I saw some of your members are making some shirts and stuff, and some of the proceeds are going towards Toys for Tots as well. That's pretty awesome. And we really appreciate the support, man. You guys are awesome.
And so, Toyota, I worked overseas, so I was a government contractor in Iraq and then a contractor in Africa, working for Kellogg Brown Root. And so you work a long day, but then you come back to your room and you're bored out of your mind. So I was watching all these, overland shows on YouTube, and I won't name them all, but and so I got a worn winch on there, and I got a worn winch bumper, the small one, and then went with Schrockwork skids and Schrockwork sliders, and then I have a Ibach Pro truck lift, which is 4 springs, 4 shocks. And then I kind of got a little something on all 4 sides of the vehicle, so
sliders.
I got LFD crossbars on top, and then I have a company out of Canada that made the ladder on the back. And the ladder's kind of, if I had to, I could mount fuel on there, or I could trash roo on there, that sort of thing. And then, but you see some of these overlander guys, and they got their max tracks bolted onto the side and their rooftop tent and their awning. Well, I like off-roading more than I like camping per se, and so I don't have the rooftop tent or the awning, or I have a set of action tracks that I have inside the vehicle. I don't bolt them to the vehicle permanently. I don't know. But if there are overlander guys coming out, I will put them up there. So we're all community.
Somebody
you look
said
good,
that.
you perform good.
Yeah.
But year round, that sort of thing. So
yeah, of course. The traction boards are I heard somebody call them the earrings of the off-road community, because they just sit up there on most vehicles and never even get used.
To tell you the truth, I've used a set of mine. Actually, Eric gave them to let me use them, and I actually destroyed one of them. But I've used them and recovered myself out of some tricky situations with them. So they do come in handy.
Yeah.
They are very useful. If you buy the right kind, they can be used as a shovel. They can be used as a minor bridge. And if you got a rooftop tent, you can level out your vehicle so you can have a level sleeping spot. They come in handy in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and I'm just going to shout out again to Action Tracks, which is a local Kansas company. They actually sponsor us in the Mark Twain Mafia, and that's what I use. I've used them with Corey. I've used them with myself. I've used them multiple times, and they've never broken. And the Action Tracks brand if you want to buy a set of traction boards, you know, they're going to cost you a couple $100, where you can get the Amazon ones for 60 or whatever. But these, they last, they're flexible. And the dude at Action Tracks,
Good dude.
he's a good dude. He throws out some free stuff for our giveaways. And I'm at actiontracks.com. It's the best board that I've personally used. I just want to shout out to him because he does hook us up, and you know his stuff is legit. They're expensive, but they're way better than anything else out
It's
there.
an American-made company.
I was gonna say it's 100% American made.
Yeah, see there.
Down at Rendezvous in the Ozarks, I don't know if you guys follow Sir William Goes on YouTube, but he's
I was just gonna mention that.
he's got Apple the Red Forerunner that
Yeah.
you know he likes to do stupid stuff with. And but I follow him on YouTube. But he was down at Rendezvous in the Ozarks with Action Tracks, you know, kind of being their go-to guy down there for that. But so I got to meet him down there, and I saw Apple, and I saw all the dents in it, and you know, I got a couple dents in mine, but nothing like his, you know.
He's throwing that thing up. He uses it, and it's stock. I mean, like it's basically a stock vehicle.
Yeah, no rock sliders, no winch,
No.
You know, he's got the base skid plates on it, you know, but
Yeah.
and he's, you know, there's one of him. He was out west, and he's going up kind of a straight wall, and he goes up, it tries to get up it, can't get up it, then he comes down and tears the whole front bumper off.
I watched that one.
It's just awesome. So, you know, I totally, the guy's a real nice guy. I got to shake his hand and meet him in person, and I bought a set of Action Tracks off of him. So, you know, really cool.
I'm gonna try to get him on here.
Yeah.
I'm not working on getting him on here. Yeah.
And, you know,
That'd be a perfect fit for you guys.
you can tell you know, he's a good old boy. He likes drinking beers and shooting guns and, you know, camping out. And so,
Oh hell yeah.
just a really nice guy. You know, just really cool to finally meet him in person. So.
All right, guys, we're reaching about an hour here. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you guys would like to go ahead one at a time, let us know where we can reach you at social media-wise, and any other shout-outs you'd like to give.
I'm kind of working overseas. I'm bad with social media, but I'm on Facebook. I'm under Dan Robinson. And then you can also get me on Mark Twain Mafia on the Facebook page there. I have a little YouTube page of some of our videos. They're just crappy, short little videos of different vehicles going over terrain. And I have that under D space Robs, and that's on YouTube. So, and if you just put in Mark Twain Mafia, you'll probably get some of my videos into YouTube.
I usually, we just kind of run off the Mark Twain Mafia. I mean, Rich has started kind of a TikTok group for us.
Oh hell yeah.
Mafia, yeah, he's got some really cool footage on there. We kind of share footage or whatever, but Mafia is the main hookup for me for sure.
Yeah, and I'll just give a shout out to our sticker company, Brand Jelly. Gabe there hooks us up. Magnolia Jean Design does all our merch, like our t-shirts. There's a link on the Mark Twain Mafia group for Magnolia Jean Design Company if you want to order shirts, koozies, lanyards, hoodies, hats. I mean, whatever you want, Mark Twain Mafia. If you want to represent, there's a link on the Mark Twain Mafia, and it's Magnolia Jean Design. I'm going to shout out to Action Tracks again for sponsoring us and giving us so much love. Artemis Overland Hardware, who's invited us to all these events, their rigs and coffee. Just a really, really cool local shop that, like, I definitely am going to spend some money with them in the future because it's just so cool to have a shop locally here in Springfield, which is like 20 minutes away from my house, that can just provide us with all this cool stuff. You know, you can order stuff online, but you never actually get to feel, touch it, check it out. He has rooftop tents in his shop. It's a giant facility. You can park out back. People camp out back of it. And then it's just like, if you want to come down to Springfield and check some cool stuff out, even if you want to hook up with Mark Twain Mafia, you got to go by Artemis because this dude has put so much money into the shop. It's incredible to have locally here in Springfield. We have to support the local business to keep it going. Man. That's for everybody. I mean, if you want to, he has a huge online presence too. If you want to order anything online, if you were looking for a rooftop tent, fire pit, I mean, anything that has to do with overlanding, check out Artemis Overland Hardware, because the dude has everything and his pricing is legit. And then
And he's got beer.
yeah,
he's got beer.
Yeah.
keg on tap all the time.
Always a keg on tap.
We actually hung out with the guys at Artemis last year after the Moore Expo, which was it was a great experience.
Guys, everybody down here is like one big group. I mean, everybody, is in everybody's group. Everybody communicates with each other. I really don't see any animosity between the groups. Everybody gives us love, even though we're kind of new and we kind of have like the more.
We're new too.
Like, we're just like we'll take anything. Like my rig is nothing special. His rig, you got anything that you want to bang on the trail? Come out with us, dude, and no shame.
Good
you know
vibes,
what I'm saying?
Good vibes. That's our big thing. Good vibes. We're all positive. We're good vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, love everybody, help anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all good.
And then if you want to check out like my stuff that I film, Mark Twain Mafia on YouTube. I put out videos, maybe like one a month or something. I try to do some editing. I'm trying to get better with that. And then I've got the Mark Twain Mafia on TikTok, which I put some stuff on. It's really kind of just starting out. Everything's just it's new for us. It's just starting out. So we're trying to like get our feet wet in all these different areas. But I mean, it's just
here.
it is what it is. I know you guys can relate to it, but that's what it is. Mark Twain Mafia on TikTok, Mark Twain Mafia on YouTube, and on Facebook. You got to join our group. And welcome to the club, man.
Right on.
We can vouch 100% for those stickers too. Those stickers are legit.
Yeah, dude, they're good. They're good stickers. And
They are.
We give them away. You show up to one of our trail rides, we give you a sticker. That's your incentive.
And we want to get these things all over Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas.
And I see him.
You don't have to be a Missouri guy to have this sticker on your
Oh yeah, right.
I see a built rig going down the highway with the Mark Twain Mafia sticker, and I don't care if I'm in my like commuter car or whatever, dude. I give him a thumbs up when I go.
Right.
Like, what's up, dude? And I'm starting to see it. We've given away over 400 stickers so far.
Damn,
Wow.
See him out on the highway, and I'm just like, thanks for representing, guys. This is so freaking cool.
And what's cool with the Magnolia Jeans Eye Company is everything we sell, shirts have $5 of that goes back into the group. No matter what.
Right on.
We're gonna do a big, barbecue, cookout, trail ride, giveaway, swag. I mean, that company gives $5 of every sale back to the group, man. So we try to help our, if you're in a group, you're gonna get a free shirt eventually, a shirt, sticker,
A shirt, a
keychain.
koozie, stickers, keychains, hoodies, hats. We're just trying to
We're not here to make money, man. We just want to spread the love.
We're not here to make money, and we're not here to spend our own money either. And right now, we're operating
I get it.
zero cost to us, and that's partly due to like member donations. Like I want to shout out to Greg Bryson, who every once in a while throws a $50 donation to the Mark Twain Mafia, which allows me to buy more stickers for giveaways, koozies. All this stuff is just like it's just about spreading the love for the off-road community. It doesn't matter what you have, come out and enjoy it, and hit us up.
A lot of good people out there.
And then, on our Facebook page, anyone can go on there and say, hey, I want to hit some trails Saturday. It doesn't need to be one of us leaders or something. So everyone, just post that you want to hit trails and lay top. I'll probably come join you. I got a lot of free time on my hands. So,
Right on.
anyone can set up a trail ride. It doesn't need to be a leader or an admin or one of us guys.
I always advertise, like, this isn't my group. This isn't Corey's group. This isn't Dan's group. This is members group. It's like, you want to post your stuff on there, you're welcome to it. If you want to shout out and get some other members to ride the trails with you and we can't make it, that's awesome too. I mean, this is a link for people to get on the trail, do your thing, even if you're not an experienced trail rider. Come out there, man. You're gonna have fun, and we're not gonna try to get you in some stuff that you're gonna break.
There's nothing that that difficult out there, in my opinion. But you know,
Yeah,
for
glade
newbie,
top,
it
great,
looks
yeah.
difficult. It is real off-roading, but it's not. It's not like Arkansas where we're stacking rocks and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that difficult. Arkansas is crazy. Those guys got some kick-ass trails.
Yeah.
They do, man. They do.
Well,
But
thanks
it
for
is
hitting us
good
up,
time.
Eric, man. I really appreciate it. Seriously. Like,
No,
Thank you,
for coming
guys.
on. Yeah.
getting us involved in this, dude. It's great. We've been talking about it for a while, man.
Yeah, man.
I really appreciate it.
And I really
Cool.
want to continue the relationship between the two groups.
Oh. 100%.
You know, like for us, it all started out like we started the group, we printed 100 stickers, we started giving them away. You know, that's what like kind of the foundation of the group is. Just, you know, come join us for a trail ride, get a free sticker, represent the group, and have fun.
Hey, thank you guys for help building the off-road community. This is very big and very important to people everywhere. Again, thank you guys. It was great having you guys on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We will we'll talk soon. And like I said, I'm gonna put as many links as I can remember. I'm gonna put as many of those in there as I can. I'm gonna shout out the Toys for Tots this weekend, and hopefully, you know, our online presence can help a real audience down there this weekend.
Sure.
Heck yeah, man. And we're going to continue promoting your group too, because I think you guys are awesome and I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you much.
Hopefully we
All
can
right.
get one day and have a real beer together.
There you go.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Yes.
Hopefully sometime soon.
Come down, guys.
We will soon. I'll even trailer my first gen if I have to. That thing on the highway ain't no fun.
We both got too many Band-Aids on our vehicles at the moment to get
Yeah.
down there. But soon enough, man.
You can park your trailer in my yard, man. Just come down.
Hey,
Sounds good to me.
you want to ride along? I've given guys rides in my 4Runner. So I had a guy with a Xterra that, you know, he was dragging, and a guy with a Suburban supersized one. You know, they all just rode in my 4Runner with me. So
I'm not opposed to that either.
Cool.
All right, cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers. Take care, guys.
All right. Well, Kyle, that was a great interview.
Yes, it was. Shout out to
yeah.
the Mark Twain Mafia.
Good group of dudes.
It seems like they're on the same page as we are, just trying to get people off road and have fun. You know, trying to help people achieve their dreams and exploring and testing their vehicles.
It's another Missouri-based group here, Southern Missouri, and they got the Glade Top Trail in their backyard, and it sounds like they're always willing to go out and wheel in it and check it out and help whoever else wants to go check it out.
Oh, yeah,
Check it out.
That's very important. That's kind of why we started STL Toyota Off-Road. They're more open to all vehicles. We're not prejudiced against any vehicle. We're just Toyota fanatics and really like to see a presence of Toyotas and doing things they're not normally doing. Again, these guys at Mark Twain Mafia, they welcome any vehicle, whether you're two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, as long as you're street legal and as long as you're willing to put yourself through these obstacles.
No, this coming Saturday, November 6th, they have an event down at Artemis Overland in Springfield, Missouri. It's a Toys for Tot event. So if you are willing, able, or capable of either going down there or even giving a donation, it would really help them out a lot, and it's obviously going for a great cause. They got a couple raffles going on to give away some really cool products as well. So it'd mean a lot to us if you'd go check them out and help them out any way possible.
Oh, yes, and also check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media. Check out the content. If you guys are wanting to explore the area, hit them up. They're more than willing to get you guys out. It sounds like a good group of people. It sounds like they really want to help you guys out, and they're there for you so you can get off-road and have some fun and learn.
They got some really badass merchandise too, so check the merchandise out. We're getting there. You know, I'm actually jealous of their stickers.
Yeah, their stickers
are
pretty
badass.
We
love
do
them.
almost all our stuff in-house. Brandon Ortiz Costello actually does a lot of our stickers and our merch. So it takes a little bit longer for us. We're trying to keep it all in-house, but we'll see what comes in here in the future.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for listening to this podcast. Thanks for watching this podcast. And, you know, hey, if you know anybody or if you want to come on the podcast, hit us up. And this podcast and the YouTube is really growing at a really phenomenal rate. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in to us and listening and watching the videos.
And please like and subscribe. That really helps us out, guys. Share our videos, share our content. Let's get our name out there. Let's get the off-road community to grow and show that we're not just a bunch of hooligans, that actually we respect the trails, that we like to clean up, that we like to get people out and explore. You know, this is all about exploring, making friends, and just having fun. So like, share, subscribe, spread the word.
Check us out. Check Mark Twain Mafia out. And we will see you again next time.
Thank you, guys. Take care.